Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hope and I'm here with the messages you need to hear today. I have 3 piles for you to choose from. The question of the day is, what is next for you in your spiritual journey and your life path? So you have 3 options here. We have option 1, option 2, and option 3. Take your time, pick, and we'll get right into the reading. All right, pile 1. So I have runes, I have Rider-Waite Tarot, and I have Doreen Virtue's angel yes or no cards, although they're more like, there's like timing and yes or no cards. But anyways, I want to get into this message because it's coming through pretty intensely. I can see that there's a certain amount of stress that you're having at this point in time. If this message, if this reading, if this pile was for you. So the first rune that came out was Ansus, the second one Algis, the third Berkana. Algis means God, Algis means elk, Berkana means birch, as in birch tree. All of these stones to me are very holy, sacred, divine. I feel like God is protecting you, favoring you, blessing you, as well as I see guardians around you. I see wisdom, insight through your crown coming in, and all of this healing possibility, this healing and protection, very strongly protection. Your first tarot card that came out was the 9 of Wands upright. All of your cards are upright. There is a very heavy message around what you have overcome, what in your life, especially I think feeling through your experiences, through the wisdom gained through these experiences, the past is blocked off for you in a sense. Like there is no going back. The changes and the wisdom, like initiation, you can never unsee what you have seen. I know that sounds like kind of cryptic and dark, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think it's all of these trials that you have overcome, and especially I'm feeling like people, interpersonal, inside yourself. It's spiritual growth, it's spiritual work. 9 is this number of completion. It's the final number in numerology before we go back to 1. There's this emotion, though, of, I mean, you definitely don't want to go back to the past. I mean, I think it's relieving to you that's why it's like there's absolutely no way. You've gone through some interpersonal changes where it's just not possible for you to go back where you have come from. I feel like you have been, I'm hearing like in the wild, out in the wild, you know, kind of out in the field doing the work. And now you have come to out of the wild or out of chaos into order, stability, structure, discipline. And it's the kind of discipline that you had to create out of nothing, literally creating order out of chaos, trying to make sense of all of these different interactions or soul contracts or whatever karmic contracts that you've been navigating and collecting. And maybe at first it didn't seem like they were connected at all, but you have a more detached or broadened perspective. Like 9 is the number of Sagittarius, and especially wands are connected with fire energy. So you have accumulated wisdom and it has grown you. And the thing about 9 is that it tends to be very humanitarian. So I think that there is an urge within you to share certain wisdom. Yes, pass on what you've learned. Give little bits of advice. But I feel due to your past, there's a fear. Maybe fear is a really strong word. There is a trepidation. There's a hesitation to reach out and connect with people or to continue chasing experiences because it feels like you're weighed down, like you've already had plenty. you are, and I'm especially seeing with this white shirt and white bandage that you've stayed true to yourself. Even through everything that you've been through, you've stayed true to yourself. There's a purity that you've been able to maintain, and through sheer force of will, that's what it feels like to me. So underneath this 9 of Wands, your angel card says unlikely. And what I feel from this is that it's very unlikely, again, that you would fall down some kind of slippery slope and attract the same situations that you've already been through in the past. You have successfully cycled through all of those karmic interactions that you needed to. And so now you are moving into this next phase, which is Page of Pentacles. So I feel like as this is a perfect card to represent like what is happening next in your life, where are you moving towards? And I see you nurturing something in kind of a young or underdeveloped state. I see for you a safe I want to say a safe space. like a safe, oh, what is the word I want so badly right now? Like a shady grove. That's what I'm hearing. Shady grove, a sacred grove, and that could be literally finding an area out in nature that is rejuvenating and healing to you. But what I really see is a place where you can study, you can grow, I feel like I keep saying grow and grow. A space that allows you to connect into your heart, that allows you to be like a child again, or like a student again, like a novice again. And, especially like I feel, because this 9 of Wands energy is really pulling on me. There is this amount of energy that has been invested in this area of your life, the Wands. But you're ready to put this down and move on to the next thing, which is going to connect you with people who actually pour back into you as you pour into them. Because I see, like, having gone through all of these terrible connections and interactions, I feel like you've gotten quite burnt out on people, or almost just, it's exhausting to think about trying again one more time. But that's what I feel for you. They want your spirit team wants you to try again. God wants you to keep trying because you have a completely different perspective now than you did, 8 wands ago. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're on wand number 9 now. You are not the same person that you were at wand number 1. I keep getting this feeling like school. So maybe this sacred grove or this safe space is a school, and it doesn't have to be an official school or university, but it could be some kind of class that you join, or a workshop or something of that sort, and it draws in a new or different group of people than you're accustomed to, but very like-minded, but individual, unique, interesting personalities, where everybody has something different to offer, something that makes them desirable. And I feel people especially being very confident in what makes them unique, and each individual having these aspects honored. So this could have been, reflecting this in the past. You felt very much, probably in the past, you had people who felt the need to all be exactly the same. Even like if you cut your hair, then these people would have to cut their hair exactly the same. Or if you started dressing a certain way, or you started listening to a certain kind of music, then everybody, like, what is that word? Enmeshment, like really toxic, codependent enmeshment, where people's unique individuality is not honored. So I see everyone being celebrated. That's why this space feels so safe to you, so comfortable, soothing, very soothing. And that it can, I feel like, develop certain parts of you it's going to teach you things that you have not been able to learn in the environment that you were in previously. So I do see you physically leaving an environment. I see that being necessary, moving to more fertile grounds, planting new seeds, investing in a new environment. This is what's going to, I almost said the word lure, and that's kind of negative connotation. This is just what's going to attract in better people. I feel like there might be some hesitation. Like I said, it's not a whole lot of enthusiasm on your part because of this heaviness, almost feeling like I really don't want to, but God's trying to come in with Ansus, Algis, Berkana, saying, you are protected. God wants you to do this because it's going to be good for you. It's going to deepen your connection to spirit, having faith and allowing yourself to be guided, allowing yourself to be protected, without this. And it's a very traditional way of being protected, where, like, from a higher perspective, from God's perspective, even if you fall down and you scrape your knee and you're bleeding everywhere, you are protected because the blood washes out debris from your knee. There is water in abundance that you can rinse out the wound, and then your platelets are going to go to work and form a scab and form this natural protection, and it will heal and recover, and boom, not a big deal. You are protected. Your pain, these injuries, they do not kill you. They do not take you out immediately, and even death doesn't get rid of you forever. I think God right now really wants to remind you of your immortality, your unmovableness. Like, you are an eternal, whole spirit, soul, consciousness. Period. Confirmation by the kitty cat. So I see this Seven of Cups. I mostly am feeling this as like you being all in your head, catastrophizing a little bit, feeling like, because honestly, these cards are the exact opposite. When I see this opportunity reversed with the Page of Pentacles, there's a certain doubt that you have. You just like jadedness, right? Because Nine of Wands definitely makes me think of jadedness. Just not feeling like there could be an opportunity for you. Like feeling like you are too different. Yeah, like feeling like you're too different. But just because these people were so toxically enmeshed, hive mind, and didn't want to have their own individual self, that doesn't make you a weirdo for wanting to have your own individual desires, life purpose. I think that you can get in your head a little bit, maybe like project onto a situation, or even like maybe imposter syndrome. However, there is opportunity. And you need to have faith, especially number 7. Number 7 is this number of having faith. It's a holy number. You don't have to see everything and precognitively know everything in order to move forward. You really need to have faith. You need to understand and know that you are protected. You are like God's favorite, okay? You are protected moving forward and making connections that will actually honor who you are at your deepest core, who you truly are, to enjoy yourself with people, to actually relax and not fear these people or social situations, because you have grown, you can see more clearly. You need to have faith in the fact that you've grown. So I think that is all that I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to close out your message here. Please like the video, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps me out. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave it down below. I would be more than happy to answer. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye. Wow. All right, welcome pile 2. I have your messages here. I am already getting impacted with the message. I see, first of all, your runes were Hagalas, Manas, Sowailo, and Raido. Hagalas means hail, Manas means man, Sowailo means sun, Raido means ride, as in riding a horse. Right away, I see this message of having difficulty, pain, struggle from human nature, from other people, and the need to be optimistic and move forward. Sort of like how children, like little kids on the playground, they have issues with other kids. Maybe they scrape their knee, they fall down and hurt themselves. And then next thing you know, they're giggling and running around and playing. There's this resilience, this innocence that allows resilience. And Spirit is requesting that you get in touch with that inner child to move forward and away from this situation. And that is further confirmed by these tarot cards. Your pile was like very, very specific that I only pull 3 Rider-Waite tarot, but you had the most runes. You had 4 runes pulled. So anyways, the first card that we have here is the 3 of Wands, and then you have the Page of Cups as well as the Death. Death, very much literally riding on a horse, moving on, letting go. I don't know why, especially this Page of Cups is really making me think apology, interacting with a person, and I think they're saying just move on. I think maybe you were looking for a sign about a specific individual. Maybe you chose this pile to, what is coming next for you in your spiritual journey, in your life path. It's not whoever this person is, that's for sure. We have down here your angel cards. It says, ask for help from others in reverse underneath this 3 of Wands. And then we have look for a sign in reverse under this Page of Cups, which I find very interesting because a Page of Cups could be a request. So asking for help from others being reversed is interesting. Oh, and then under the Death card, we have remain positive. This angel card, remain positive. So I think this is a perfect pile question to be asking, having this 3 of Wands, which is definitely about assessing, waiting. Yeah, definitely waiting. Because you're standing still, not really moving forward. You are torn between 2 different paths to take. Well, actually, no. I'm getting something more specific. Because with this hand is holding on to one of these staffs, but there are actually 2 staves behind this individual that they are not looking at or not aware of, and it's like you're clinging on to this one rod. And I see this band around your head, and for whatever reason I'm interpreting this as like a seal or a block on your head, like you're lacking clarity because you're not able to see what's behind you. You're not able to see what is unseen, that there are other paths, other opportunities for you to go down, that you don't have to be sitting here and waiting for your ships to come in. You don't have to wait for help that's not coming. That's what it feels like to me. Hagalas, meaning hail, like frozen rocks falling from the sky, definitely gives this energy of man versus nature. This chaotic, destructive force of nature. And it seems, I'm like, especially thinking like condensing down there, it's just all these little water droplets, all of these, oof, I just heard tears, all these tears coagulating together and snowballing into these giant blobs of hail, moisture, pain, all just comes crashing down on you like God opening up the waters, opening up the water canopy in the sky to just come crashing down on you. This is very dramatic, heavy energy, and I feel it's around a person, around an individual. And it's just time. You were looking for a sign, but I almost feel like you have been missing these signs, denying or avoiding these signs because you feel like there's only one way, or you're clinging on to this path and there's another way, there's another path. Almost now I'm getting this feeling like sunken cost fallacy, right? Like you've slammed into the iceberg, but you're so invested in, I can save this sinking ship if I just keep investing energy. Maybe I can clog up this massive hole, this iceberg ripped into my ship, and it won't drown, or I won't drown. Get off the ship. Get off the ship, because you're not going to see the sign that says to keep investing in this. You need to free yourself. It doesn't matter if this person comes to you with the most poetic, perfect prose, perfect rhetoric, apology, or speech, or frickin' sonnet. It's not worth it. You will not see the sun. Literally, there's a sun in this card. There's literally a sun on top of her head. And of course, Sowilo means sun. You will not see the sun until you face the void of death head on, that you accept that you need to literally ride forward, move forward. And I'm sure it probably doesn't feel so good to hear very specifically that you need to remain optimistic and positive. Because this person is blocking your crown, which is how you get directions from God, from source, from your higher power. Now my attention is being directed to this king who has died, and his crown has fallen at the feet of the horse, of the horseman of death. And like he is covered in a blanket of water. And of course, death is associated with Scorpio, which is a water sign. Hail is water, is moisture, is precipitation. I think you have to allow that torrential downpour to accept it for what it is. Move forward. I feel like now at this point I'm starting to repeat myself. The message is very, very clear. You know, I find it very interesting because there are lilies all over this Page of Cup. Lilies on his tunic, and lilies are associated with death. Lilies moving from one space into another, surrounded by water. Especially this energy of Pisces coming through with this fish. And Pisces to me is always talking about hidden enemies and self-sabotage. So if you know that you are not able to receive signs or you're ignoring certain signs, this is how you would be sabotaging yourself. So I feel like if this message really resonated with you, you should leave this situation alone and just move on. Focus on yourself, focus on being positive, optimistic, and especially connecting with your inner child. Allowing yourself, because there might even be part of you that just holds back from enjoying yourself in other ways because you feel like you need to be emotionally and energetically, spiritually invested in something that is just not pouring back into you. There is another way, there's another path that leads to more joy and growth overall. So these have been your messages, pile 2. I hope that they were useful to you. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Share this to anyone you think would help. If you have any questions or suggestions, make sure you leave that down below and I'll be more than happy to answer it. And I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. I have everything laid out, so let's just jump into the message. The first thing that is coming through is the feminine energy in this reading is off the charts. You have the Empress coming out first and foremost, and this card really insisted on coming out. And then you have the Queen of Cups and your runes. You have Perthro, which is like pear tree or like the fruit. And then you have the weird stone, which is blank. And then you have Inguas, which is Frey's rune. Fertility, feminine, harvest. You have two, Perthro is fruit. The Empress is full of fruit. And what is very interesting, so your cards, you have the Empress, and then you have the Tower card reversed, which has this Empress figure falling out of this burning building. And then the Queen of Cups, as well as the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So royalty, authority, fertility, responsibility, leadership. I almost get this feeling like you have entered into a space and there is this energetic interaction going on, and it is causing someone to be removed or taken out of a lead position that you are moving into. And it's going to result in a lot more abundance. But especially the way I see this rune, Urdur's rune, the Norn Urdur of the future, fate, that there's a certain element of this that is out of your hands. And I find it very funny because your angel card was "it's up to you" coming out in reverse. Like it's not up to you. It's not an option. This is just fate. This is just, I'm hearing like the laws of nature, of thermodynamics. Like you move into a space and you're like, triggering a chemical reaction, and it's not really up to you. So with this Tower reversed, I feel like in reference to yourself. Oh, and by the way, like having major arcana and even like court cards coming out, especially major arcana, really tells me that fate is at play here. So you definitely don't want to have any amount of resistance, especially with the Tower, with abrupt changes, or especially if somebody, some kind of position of authority or power or influence is being, well, usurped is kind of negative, but is being, oh, I heard coronation, like you were being brought in to this position of power. And it's specifically this feminine energy that you have. You truly have a talent, whatever. This is a very career heavy. It feels like career heavy. Maybe it could be even a role in a family, like you sort of taking over as a matriarch in the family, and somebody else who was no longer a fit or unworthy being removed from this position of power. Kind of hectically, maybe almost disgracefully, but I see you being protected from that. So, especially with the pear throw rune, right? What we think of a pear tree, it can be sort of a Christ symbol, the partridge in a pear tree. So there might be a, I don't know why that just gives me more of this divine right to be in this position, or you have been ordained for a certain position, like Christ was ordained in, blessed and just a natural fit, being 12 years old and preaching and guiding and healing people and just being in alignment with his purpose to be that perfect lamb, that perfect sacrifice to. And see, that's the other thing about royalty, right? Of course, we can think about the very low vibrational, real world way that royalty operates. But if we move into the realm of myth and symbolism and archetype, it is a service. A king or a queen is in service to her constituents, to the people that she rules over. Especially the face of the Empress is really giving me lion energy, like Leo energy or Sphinx. There's a generosity, right? Because Leo rules the breast, or actually no, my bad. Leo rules the heart. We give from the heart. We're very generous. I'm thinking breast though, because this is so much feminine energy, and that is literally giving of your body to make milk and feed other people. This abundance. And it keeps coming back to riches, abundance, fruit, harvest. You have the capacity to protect and lead people, especially if this is you taking over as a matriarch in a family unit, or it can be in a workplace, whatever. It will be more prosperous, but I think it will be a little chaotic moving through this transition. So your next angel card is Peaceful Resolution in reverse. So I don't think it will be a very peaceful transition. That's all I'm saying. It seems like somebody is losing dignity, and it could be somebody like, because you see this woman in a blue dress with a golden crown, and immediately next to that we have the Queen of Cups in her blue dress with a gold crown. The Queen of Cups is upright though. And so this can be somebody who is very nurturing. Of course, this can be connected to Cancer energy, which is the mother. Somebody who is connected to spirit, who allows things to flow through her like a channeler, like a channel of water, allowing something to flow through her vessel. Perceptive, hyper attuned to the people around her. I feel like there is similarities between yourself and this individual or individuals that you're replacing, that you are taking over certain duties or responsibilities for. The reason why is because of your almost telepathic, psychic capacity to really feel what is going on in others around you and how to meet their needs, almost knowing them better than they know themselves, because there's so much wisdom and connection to spirit. I think right now more than ever, it's important for you to really trust your intuitions, especially I'm hearing dreams. If you're having dreams about somebody or situation, trust whatever messages are being sent your way, because I see all these angels around her, and angels are messengers. So we see this Be Assertive card in reverse underneath the Eight of Pentacles reversed. What I see with this Eight of Pentacles is that there's no need for you to be crafty in any ways or put any physical energy, actions, work into making any of this situation happen. Like I said, everything, it's very fate. It's going to happen very naturally. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. It's really not up to you. It's not going to be peaceful immediately. And so I honestly, especially feminine, I think they want you to take like a very relaxed, and what's the opposite of proactive? An inactive, or a sort of like stasis or peace, neutrality, stillness, and just in a space of accepting and allowing things to flow and happen. And honestly, just focus on kind of grounding yourself, because I feel like energetically it could be a lot. And that could also be kind of what this Eight of Pentacles reversed is highlighting, that you might be a little bit ungrounded. You might feel a bit ungrounded, or like an inability to focus or get a whole lot done. I also feel like after everything is said and done, that you're going to get quite the expansion of your gifts, like psychic gifts. And it could be specifically things associated with the Queen of Cups, like clairvoyance and empathy. It's this whole thing about messages like telepathy. which can be a bit burdensome as somebody who's had experience with telepathy. It can be random and involuntary. So I think, especially with all this water, it's very important for you to be cleansing. Also, just drinking a lot of water, taking care of your physical health, as you know, there could be, as chaos goes on, it can be quite easy to neglect yourself a bit. So I think you're going to really blossom and just naturally magnetize this position of matriarch, of leader. So these have been your messages. I hope that they were useful for you. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions. I would be very grateful and happy to read them. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.